Hello, we're out here on Navarro River today, California. A place I used to camp all the time with my family. It's called Polymdimic Campground. It's been shut down for about 5 years, so everything's looking pretty abandoned. It's state owned here in California, but unfortunately they had vandals come and steal one of the generators, and it's been closed for like 5 years. So you can see there's leaves all over the ground, but it has lots of really cool features. I used to explore around here a lot when we'd come out here and stay and play and hang out. You can see the huge stumps. So those are like castles that we would climb up, and they're the old growth that was cut down. This park is a preserved park, so a lot of California around here is destroyed. Oh, you see that? The water was that high this year, all the way through this whole place. But they haven't had this open now for about 5 years, and it's become kind of a ghost town. Kind of sad. And just take a good look around. Show you the beauty of this place. It is really awesome out here. Ugh, a lot of mosquitoes. God, that one is draining me. There's blood all over it. But yeah, we're about 7 miles from the actual coast. This is pretty cool. I just want to show this to you. Must be caught in a spider's web. I don't want to mess it up here. It's a leaf. Do you see that? What's it doing? It's just caught on a spider web, I believe. Or else we're seeing true fairy activity. I can get in here and not mess it up. Come on, that's pretty cool. How could the spider web even be holding it without breaking off? I think it likes me here. I guess we'll just leave that little thing doing that out here in the middle of the woods. So I wanted to film this. I see the floods this winter washed this big old log up on top of it. That's where this chunk of forest came from. It was preserved and saved. And yeah, help save it just by knowing it exists, because when things are forgotten, the bad guys tend to just gobble it up. Anyhow, wow. Well, this won't be as heavy to you as it is to me, but very strange. The floods have come through. People have been gone. This was the main bathrooms. You can see trees washed up against it. These are the stumps of an old redwood. So when a redwood gets cut down, its roots continue to live, and they grow what's called a cathedral. So it's a regrowth. So all these trees are actually sprouts off of the roots of the original, and they've grown up like secondary growth. But this that you're looking at, besides the burn marks and rotten areas stretching from there all the way over, is the stump of one of the actual old trees. And we called these castles because they're hollow, and when you were camping here, all of the kids would come and play in them, so you'd make friends for the summer. And this is what they look like up on top. I guess I'll go the rest of the way. Might as well get up here. Okay. So down inside, they're kind of hollowed out. They have all these spots. You can see the edge of the old tree all the way around. That's how big it is. We're taller than the bathrooms there, and this is just where they cut it off. This was all one tree. Cut it, it fell, boom, long gone. Then all these that you see growing out of the sides of it are all the root shoots that grew up and made these, which are in their own grandeur now massive creatures, but life after man. And that was a big tree. And this is her This is the Navarro River. Spent a lot of my good parts of my summer wandering up through these forests on either side, getting stung by nettles, hanging out in the deep woods. I've splashed down this entire creek to where it meets the ocean and camped there for weeks on end also. It's good stuff, good memories. River treasure hunter.
It's pretty deep right here.
That's my awesome wife. You see the color of this water as opposed to the regular water of the main stream. This is just like in the Amazon jungle from all of the different nutrients and minerals from the leaves have made it kind of like a tea like you see in the swamps. So it's flowing out here and joining the main. But just wanted to show that to you because it's kind of cool. It's Danielle building our shelter for the...
Olive built it. It was her idea.
Poor little worm. Poor little willow. I guess that's fair for the ants to get the worm. Down here just checking the gravels, because that's what I do. And on this particular river, my parents used to find colorful arrowheads, meaning made out of other things besides obsidian. And so hardly any obsidian ever out here, but quartz tips and all kinds of chert and green jades and all sorts of stuff. So gotta really try and pay attention to what you're looking at, and hunt for shape, not necessarily color here. So maybe we'll find something. Ooh, look at that. More green rocks.
Alright, are we gonna go under or what? I should put this on the shore. Oh wait, I'm closer to the candy. I have the candy on my land.
This is kind of what we're looking for. Let's see. Not sure. Highly suspect, because when they're working with the stuff that isn't just a perfect glass, they tend to have to flow with the grain, and so things can get a little bit weird of a shape. But yeah, who knows with that one. Can't prove it for sure. That's kind of some of the material that you'll see I'm making it out of. Oh, what do you do? Oh man, got some cool quartz vein and some really green, smooth jade. It's cool. What do you think? Some crazy axe head? I don't know. Hard to tell at this point. Couldn't prove it for sure. So we're just going to do a little more gravel hunting here. I'm not going to show you too much of it on this video unless we find some good stuff, because I want to save lots of time to show you the cool beaches and forest and everything else that we're going to check out here. So stick with me. We're just starting the adventure. I don't know. When I'm not dealing with obsidian, I'm kind of out of my element, so they really have to look like what they are for me to be able to convince myself that it's the truth. What do you think? I don't know, maybe worked on and naturally broken. There's a chunk of green rocks, guys. Green rocks. Suspect, but unprovable. Some more. Well, that's a pretty rock no matter what it is. Alright, it looks, nope. It's layered. I mean, it's too thick to be anything, but you find it made out of that out here too. Now, I don't know exactly what kind of rock that is. Some sort of agate, I suspect, but check this out. Super mermaid tear. It's one of the best ways to do it is just to walk and go down to the water, splash your face, turn around, and just go back and forth. Oh, look at that. More green rock. My mom found an arrowhead out here that was made out of that stuff, the bluish, almost turquoise shade. So that would be kind of a white whale. Love to find something like that. I don't know. We'll keep looking. Anyhow, thanks for sticking with me. And we'll just keep doing the little Nate stroll up and down the beach here. Out here where this gravel's laying really flat, and I think that's part of what happens with arrowheads is I find them in these type of areas because their shape is kind of hydrofoil. Stuff flows over it, so whereas heavy things that are flat and can catch water will get yanked down streams, where lighter things that are more hydrodynamic, that the water flies over better, will actually just stay where they are sometimes. So it's not always about weight. I saw this laying here, and it's not obsidian, it's a gray stone, but I've seen them used when I can't remember the name of this fracture. It just basically means round fracture. So this stone has that virtue. Okay, and this is fluting, so that very well could be a little scraper made out of just the shiniest stone that they had. I like that. It kind of feels right. It's one of those unprovable tools, but I kind of recognize it from the obsidian land. See it? Come on, man. Gosh. Whew. That stops your heart for a second. Well, closer still, huh? And that's kind of the type of thing that we'd be looking for, but with a little more obvious. See the mud bug?
A what?
Climbing up the road here. This is the path. It's the old logging road. Pretty congested and stuff. But this is a thimbleberry in California. This is what they look like.
Can I eat it?
Yeah, but only if you're with someone who knows what they're doing or you know what you're doing. It looks like a raspberry though. Hidden hair fern. Horsetail.
That is good.
Sorrel. And is that a mint? No. That's awesome. This is old logging road, see? So they would cut these through here to be able to access the different timber that they were logging. And of course they'd use bulldozers, and that's what this is. You want to grab it? This is the tooth off the bucket of a big old bulldozer. So that's what that is. That's the actual bulldozer that made the road, the Big Guy Grove, back in the day. It's pretty aged, so I'd assume that it's from then. So that's tractor tooth. That was our path in so far. It wasn't that horrible. There's a lot of down trees and these logs that washed in and stuff when the water was up this high, because it gets this high every year, and so it kind of matted down the veg, so it was easy to hike in. But this is Big Guy Grove. Yeah. We're down in Big Guy Grove, so this is totally pristine, untouched area where you can see a lot of how it looked before. Show you the way here. It's a Big Guy Grove. I don't know why I'm whispering. I guess just out of respect, and try and walk where there's any bare spots already, you know? But look at the ferns out here, and the sorrel that covers the ground, and the different sedge grasses and violets. It's just beautiful. Just stay there. So every tree here, this is Big Guy. Can you see it? Let your eyes focus in. That's one tree. That whole black base there goes all the way up. And if you look around, these are pretty big redwood trees for what we got left in California now. They would have totally logged this in other places already again if it wasn't a preserve. Those are huge, huge redwoods. That one there, that is a massive redwood. But we're just up a logging road, and then back from these over to Big Guy. Do you see him? So, and this is the grove. No matter what flooding occurs or how torn up the rest looks, this grove always looks like this. And that's the only thing to remember here, is that every tree out here used to be that size, and that's what you would have felt. And now these are all just the ones that regrew. These are the babies, except for Big Guy, and we'll show you why. Ooh, let me show you this. These are owl droppings. So when you see this, owls don't poop out this hard material, they cough it back out. So when they're done digesting their little rodents, they cough out what are called owl pellets. So if you see these laying around, it means that way up there, some big old owl has been hunting, eating, and then coughing out the digested little bones and hair afterwards. That's a cool thing.
That's
Part of the cycle out here. Well, it is. You can see the jaws and the bones sticking out of this one. More owl pellets.
What's that?
Little bones. Sorry if that's too gross, but that's part of the cycle up here that makes it so lush and beautiful. And there's big guy.
Getting closer.
So this is big guy. This is who I wanted you to meet. This is who I wanted you to meet. And everyone at home. So the first branches on big guy don't start till up there, and that's what a branch on it looks like. So if you see National Geographic Redwoods, these are quite the same. The branches on it, that's a branch. And it's like the size of a building attached to the side of it. So look at the pieces of bark on there. You see the blackness, and this is why big guy is still standing. It's because before the loggers got here, a natural fire might have come through. Did come through. And the top on this is blown off because we climbed up the slope behind this expecting to see big guy sticking out of the forest because of how big he is down here. You can see there's the rest of the trees all the way in any direction, and then there's this one. So at some point a fire came through and burnt out all the loggable material, all the lumber wood out of the center, which left big guy standing here. And we guessed that maybe that fire started from when the top of it was blown off by lightning. So this could have been the very lightning rod that caused a forest fire here once. Burnt itself out. But anyhow, what we know for sure, when they showed up, all of the trees out here were this size. Big guy was spared because there was no wood that they could use at that point. Remember, that was way back in the day. So this is how big guy looks. And of course it's bulked up. It's been 100 and something years since they were here. And look at the branches. This is a better shot. That's how they start and come off of it. See, there's little ones, but that's a big branch just right there that goes up. And yeah, I can't really show you the top of big guy. But there's a child against the side of it. Okay, that's how big that tree is. So thank you for coming along on this trip. Thank you for meeting big guy. This is where he is, out here on the Navarro River. Just massive. Just walk around and around and around this thing. You see that? Bill and Becky. Nate and Emily. That's my mom, my dad, my sister, and me. That's a long time ago. You see that, Ollie? You guys were here when we rediscovered. Those were notches from times that we had been here. We lost the stone for a little while, so it's special. 81. 91. I've located the family stone and introduced big guy to the world. So here's your mark, buddy. Hope you're doing okay. You see how high the floodwaters get. That's why we were afraid that the stone had been lost. That tree exists out here, unknown to most of the world, watching the ages pass by. It is an incredible detail. Okay, big guy, we're gonna leave. We will see you again. Remember to guard big guy and guard the trees like him.
Dad, quick question. What are these?
Spores on the underside of the leaf. Those are the seeds, like how a mushroom has. I want to show you that. This place is so cool out here.